Have you ever wondered if monsters still walk among us, not in the shadows, but hidden in plain sight? Welcome to Monsters Among Us, the hidden ones in human form. In this chilling episode, we dive into the terrifying truth behind creatures that disguise themselves as ordinary people, blending into our cities, our workplaces, even our homes. Are these stories myths, or are we living side by side with something not quite human? Stay tuned as we uncover sightings, secret footage, and chilling testimonies that will make you question everything you know about the people around you. Monsters Among Us, the hidden ones in human form. The unseen threat within. Throughout history, tales of monsters have haunted humanity's collective imagination. Beasts lurking in the shadows, emerging from oceans, forests, and mountains. Yet, the most chilling truth may not dwell in distant lands or dark caves, but within ourselves. Monsters Among Us. The Hidden Ones in Human Form explores the unsettling idea that monsters do not always wear scales or fangs. Sometimes, they walk beside us, blending seamlessly into the human world. They wear friendly faces, speak comforting words, and live ordinary lives, all while concealing their monstrous nature beneath a mask of humanity. This exploration delves into mythology, psychology, modern society, and real-world cases that suggest the monsters we fear most may not be creatures of myth, but human beings whose hearts and minds harbor the darkest horrors imaginable. The ancient idea of human monsters. The concept of a human-shaped monster is not new. Ancient civilizations recognized that evil could manifest through people, not just beasts. In Greek mythology, tales like that of Lycaon, who was transformed into a wolf after committing heinous acts, reflected humanity's awareness of moral monstrosity. The Romans spoke of demonium, spirits that could inhabit humans, turning them into agents of destruction. Likewise, African folklore tells of skinwalkers and shapeshifters who disguise themselves as humans during the day, only revealing their true form when darkness falls. These stories were not just metaphors, they were warnings. They taught that monstrosity often begins within a corruption of a soul, a moral decay that eventually consumes the person entirely. The transformation from human to monster was symbolic of losing one's humanity. In this sense, a monster was not born, it was made. The psychological monster, darkness of the mind. Modern psychology gives a scientific form to what mythology once described. Within the human brain lies the capacity for both kindness and cruelty, compassion and destruction. Psychopaths, sociopaths, and narcissists, individuals who lack empathy, remorse, or moral restraint, embody the modern version of human monsters. Psychopathy and the mask of sanity. A psychopath can appear perfectly normal, even charming. They are often intelligent, socially skilled, and persuasive. Yet beneath that facade lies emotional emptiness, a chilling void where empathy should be. Dr. Hervey Cleckley, in his classic work The Mask of Sanity, described psychopaths as emotionally colorblind, unable to truly experience love, guilt, or compassion. They mimic human behavior to fit in, but feel none of the emotions that define humanity. These hidden monsters walk among us undetected. Corporate executives manipulating employees, cult leaders controlling followers, or serial offenders preying on victims. Their ability to blend in makes them far more terrifying than any creature from folklore. Sociopathy, the moral decay. While psychopaths are often cold and calculating, sociopaths act with impulsive cruelty. They know right from wrong, but choose to ignore it. The sociopath's monstrous nature reveals itself through chaos, manipulation, and destruction. They thrive on conflict and power, feeding on others' pain. These individuals, too, represent the hidden ones, not supernatural beings, but humans whose moral compass has shattered. Historical monsters in human disguise. History is filled with individuals whose actions were so horrific that they seem to transcend humanity altogether. From tyrants to killers, their deeds remind us that monsters often emerge not from the shadows, but from positions of trust, leadership, and normality. The tyrants of blood and power. Figures such as Adolf Hitler, Joseph Stalin, and Pol Pot orchestrated genocides that claimed millions of innocent lives. Their cruelty defied reason. To those who followed them, they appeared as visionaries, saviors, or revolutionaries. To the rest of the world, they revealed what happens when a human loses all empathy, when ideology replaces morality, and power becomes an addiction. They are the ultimate monsters in human form, proving that humanity's greatest horrors are often self-inflicted. The serial killers next door. In modern times, serial killers like Ted Bundy, Jeffrey Dahmer, and John Wayne Gacy embody this hidden monstrosity. Bundy, for instance, was educated, articulate, and charismatic, far from the image of a monstrous brute. He volunteered at political campaigns, smiled for the cameras, and spoke gently to his victims before murdering them. His humanity was a mask. Beneath it lay predation. Dahmer, on the other hand, blurred the line between man and beast. His obsession with control led him to horrific acts of cannibalism, as though consuming his victims could fill the emotional void within him. These men remind us that evil does not always snarl, it smiles. Monsters in society, hidden behind normality. Not all hidden monsters commit violent acts. Some destroy lives quietly, through manipulation, deceit, and exploitation. They exist in every social layer: corporations, politics, relationships, and even families. Corporate and political predators. In the modern world, power often conceals moral corruption. Ruthless CEOs, corrupt politicians, and deceptive public figures can devastate millions of lives while maintaining a polished public image. These are predators of influence, draining wealth, exploiting workers, and destabilizing nations, all for personal gain. Their monstrosity is not in appearance, but in action, greed, deceit, and the absence of conscience. Personal monsters, the abusers and manipulators. Some monsters live closer to home. They may be partners, parents, or friends, people who manipulate, control, and emotionally destroy others. Psychological abuse can leave scars deeper than physical wounds, yet it often goes unnoticed because these monsters were the face of care or love. They gaslight, isolate, and dominate their victims, feeding on power and fear. These are the hidden ones of the domestic world, monsters of control and cruelty wrapped in the guise of affection. The cultural reflection, monsters as mirrors. Monsters have always mirrored human fears and flaws. From literature to cinema, they symbolize what society struggles to confront within itself. The doppelganger, the shadow self. The idea of a doppelganger, a double or shadow self, represents the duality of human nature. Works like Robert Louis Stevenson's The Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde reveal that good and evil coexist within the same person. Dr. Jekyll's transformation into Hyde is not a physical change, but an unveiling of what always existed within him. This story remains one of the clearest allegories for the hidden monster within us all, the darker impulses we suppress to appear civilized. Modern media, human monsters on screen. Films and series such as American Psycho, You, and Dexter explore the modern monster psychology. Patrick Bateman, Joe Goldberg, and Dexter Morgan all live double lives, charming on the surface, deadly beneath. Audiences are both repulsed and fascinated because these characters reveal uncomfortable truths. The capacity for evil lies within everyone, restrained only by conscience and circumstance. Science and the nature of evil. Neuroscience and behavioral studies suggest that monstrous behavior may be deeply rooted in biology and environment. The brain's amygdala, responsible for emotion and empathy, functions differently in psychopaths. Some researchers argue that certain people are born with diminished emotional capacity, while others are shaped by trauma, neglect, or abuse. The born versus made debate. Are monsters born or made? The answer lies somewhere in between. Some individuals may have biological predispositions toward aggression or emotional detachment. Yet environment, childhood trauma, exposure to violence, social rejection often triggers or amplifies these tendencies. A child who grows up in cruelty may learn that empathy is weakness, transforming into the very monster they once feared. The moral gene. Science has even explored the possibility of a moral gene. Variants of the MAOA gene, sometimes sensationalized as the warrior gene, have been linked to impulsivity and aggression. However, genetics alone cannot create monsters. It is the combination of biology and choice, of nature and nurture, that determines who succumbs to darkness and who resists it. The supernatural perspective, spiritual corruption. Beyond science, many cultures view the hidden ones as evidence of spiritual possession or demonic influence. In Christianity, the devil is said to walk in disguise, tempting humans into evil. Islamic teachings warn of jinn, beings that can influence human thought. Other traditions speak of energy vampires, people who drain others emotionally or spiritually. While these ideas are symbolic, they reveal a shared understanding across humanity. Something unseen corrupts from within, transforming people into vessels of darkness. The supernatural view, though unscientific, serves an important moral function. It externalizes evil, helping societies identify and confront destructive behavior. Whether literal or metaphorical, these interpretations highlight that the line between good and evil often runs through the human heart. The hidden ones today, modern-day monstrosity. In the digital age, human monsters have evolved. They no longer need physical proximity to harm others. They exploit through screens and systems. The online predators. Social media and the internet have birthed a new breed of hidden monsters. Online scammers, cyberbullies, and manipulators. They prey on trust, anonymity granting them power. Behind every friendly profile could lurk a predator seeking control, attention, or chaos. The scariest part? They can reach anyone, anywhere, anytime. The cult of influence. The modern world worships charisma, fame, and power, qualities that often attract the morally corrupt. Influencers, cult leaders, and extremists use charm and ideology to manipulate masses. Their followers see them as heroes, unaware that they are feeding the ego of a hidden monster who thrives on control. The human desire for belonging becomes their weapon of choice. Recognizing the hidden ones. If monsters can wear human faces, how can we recognize them? Psychologists identify several traits that often reveal hidden monstrosity. Charm without empathy. They can make anyone feel special, but lack genuine compassion. Manipulative intelligence. They twist truth to control others. Lack of guilt or accountability. They never take responsibility for harm. Emotional mimicry. They imitate emotions rather than feel them. Predatory patience. They wait for moments of weakness to strike. Understanding these traits is the first step toward protection. The hidden ones thrive in ignorance. Awareness strips away their power. Are we all capable of becoming monsters? The most unsettling truth is that monstrosity may not be confined to a few. Under certain conditions, fear, power, desperation, ordinary people can commit unthinkable acts. The Stanford Prison Experiment and Milgram's obedience study revealed that humans often obey authority, even when it causes harm. Ordinary participants became aggressors simply because they were told to. This suggests that the monster is not always out there. It lives within us, waiting for permission to emerge. Civilization and morality are the thin walls keeping it contained. The hope within the horror. Yet, acknowledging our capacity for evil is also what makes us human. Awareness allows resistance. Compassion, empathy, and self-reflection are the antidotes to the hidden monster within. The same brain that harbors cruelty also holds love, creativity, and sacrifice. Humanity's greatness lies not in denying the darkness, but in choosing light despite it. Education, empathy training, and emotional awareness can help prevent the rise of hidden monsters in society. By teaching self-control, moral reasoning, and compassion, we weaken the roots of cruelty before they grow. The mirror and the mask. Monsters among us. The hidden ones in human form reminds us that true horror is not found in the shadows of forests or oceans, but in the hearts of people who abandon their humanity. The hidden ones live behind masks of normalcy. Neighbors, leaders, lovers, even ourselves. They are not supernatural beings, but reflections of what humanity can become when conscience fades and empathy dies. To confront them, we must look in the mirror and ask, what makes us human? It is not our strength, intellect, or survival instinct. It is our ability to choose compassion over cruelty, truth over deception, and love over domination. In every age, monsters have evolved, but so has our understanding of them. The battle between humanity and monstrosity continues, not in distant realms, but within every human soul. The hidden ones are real, but so too is the power to unmask them, and to ensure that even in the darkest corners of our world, the light of humanity never goes out. If monsters truly walk among us, hidden behind human faces, how would we ever know? The clues may be closer than you think. From mysterious disappearances to unsettling encounters, the evidence continues to grow, suggesting that the line between human and monster is far thinner than we imagine. If this video made you question reality, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share for more chilling investigations into the unknown. And remember, the next time you meet someone new, look closer, because they might not be who they appear to be. Until next time, stay alert and stay alive.